A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Insyaallah, today me and my group mates will explain and present about national policy on special education. Okay, before I start this presentation, let me introduce myself first. My name is Abdul Hadi bin Awang. My check number 1816731. Okay, before we go further about the national policy on special education, I think it is better for us to understand what is special education. Special education is education for students with special education needs, different from the normal students like us. And these students were placed in three school setting. And I will tell you what is this three school setting. The first one is special education schools. Just like the school special for autism, special for dyslexia, dysgraphia, and dyscalculia student, and so on. The second one is mainstream schools that implement the integrated special education program, and the last one is inclusive education program, which are at preschool, primary, secondary, tertiary education, and also for secondary education. Okay, my friend, we already know about what is special education. Okay, now I want to share about the what is characteristic of special needs students. In Education Rules of Special Education 2013, define special needs student in 6 categories. The first one is hearing impaired, the second one sight or visual impaired, third speech impaired, fourth physical impaired, the next learning difficulties, and the last one multiple disabilities. So we can conclude that students with this special need can be categorized as special needs students. In this slide, I want to explain in simplest way about all of characteristic of these students. Firstly, hearing impairment. Hearing impairment occurs when people lose part or all of their ability to hear. They normally totally lost their hearing or cannot hear clearly like normal people and need help from hearing aid. The second one is sight or visual impairment. Sight impairment means loss of visual acuity and inability of the person to see objects as clearly as a healthy person. They may have problems like short sight, far sight, and also blind. The third one is speech impairment. Speech impairment refers to an impaired ability to produce speech sounds and may range from mild to severe. They are unable to talk and lost ability to produce speech sounds, just like I said before, and they normally communicate using sign language. The fourth is physical impairment. Physical impairment is a condition in which a part of a person's body is damaged or is not working properly. Next is learning difficulties. These disabilities are popular among students nowadays. If we not help them, they will be abandoned. Why? Because these disabilities are difficulties in acquiring knowledge and skills to the normal level expected of those of the same age, especially because of mental disability or cognitive disorder. The example of the learning difficulties like dyscalculia, dysgraphia, dyslexia, and more other learning difficulties. The last one is multiple disabilities. We can see in these multiple disabilities, they have more than one disabilities. For example, They having problem with number, which is dyscalculia. At the same time, they also have problem in reading, which is dyslexia. So we can understand multiple disabilities is when the person have more than one disability different from the other disabilities. So, why special education is important? The first answer is, like other children, special children also have the right to receive proper education that can help them to grow and enjoy without fearing it. The second one is to help the student achieve their academic and also to achieve their life success. The last one is to develop their potential because most of them have special ability compared to normal student. Okay, by this explanation about the special needs students, I hope all of us can understand well about their condition and not only judge them by their disabilities and also their appearance. Okay, that's all from me. Next, my group mates will continue with their presentation. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Fadila. Inshallah, now I will proceed with the next topic, which is Education Act Amendment 2002. As we know, the Education Act 1996 is the continuation and the reform of the Education Act 1961 to reinforce the national education system in Malaysia. And then, the Education Act have been amended in 2002 and was in force starting from 1st January 2003. So, before we go through to the Education Act Amendment 2002, let's see these statements together. So, the first one is Universal Declaration of Human Rights stated in Article 26 that everyone have the right to free and compulsory education, at least in the elementary and fundamental stages. It means that the elementary education shall be compulsory to everybody, and then the technical and professional education shall be made generally available, and higher education shall be equally accessible to all on the basis of merit. And then the second one is Convention of the Rights of the Child, which Malaysia had accepted on February 1997 in Article 28, stated that it is the right of every child to have free and compulsory primary education. So, what I can conclude from these two statements is that the education is the fundamental right for every human in this world. So, the Education Act 1996 had been amended in 2002 for the sake of equality towards all the students in Malaysia. As I said just now that the Education Act Amendment 2002 had been enforced starting from the 1st January 2003. In this amendment, it was stated that it is compulsory for the parents to enroll their children in primary school from 6 years up to year 6. This act imposed to every parents that live in Malaysia to ensure that their children enroll in primary school as they reach 6 years old in that year and end their schooling until year 6. And then the parents who ignore the law to send their children to school will be guilty and imposed to fine. The parents who ignore the instruction from the government at that time to send their children to a primary school for compulsory education will be guilty, and the punishment may be a fine of 5,000 ringgit Malaysia or a term of imprisonment for 6 months or both. Other than that, in Malaysian Education Blueprint by 2020, they expect all the students will leave the school by minimum SPM level or any vocational qualification. This is because Malaysia wants all the citizens to be the educated person in the future. And also, I want to add some points here. After the Amendment 2002 had been introduced and had been enforced starting 2003, there are some current policy give three different schooling options to children or their parents. The first one is the special education schools dealing with particular type of impairment or dealing with different types of impairment. It means that there are some special schools to deal with different types of impairment that have been provided by the government, such as for the hearing disabilities or visual disabilities, and other than that. Other than that, the mainstream schools with special classes for students with special needs. It means that in the school, there is a particular class for the student with special needs. The school did not mix the special needs student with the normal student. And also, in the mainstream schools that integrate 1 to 5 special needs students in the regular classes. It means that in the school, the special needs students will study with the normal students, but with a condition: there is only 1 to 5 special needs students in one classroom. This shows that the government of Malaysia had made a lot of efforts in order to make sure the children have their chances to pursue their study even though they have disabilities and problem in learning. Okay, that's all from me. I hope that you guys understand from my sharing just now. Thank you for listening.
Bismillah, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to my presentation slide. My name is Nisrina Iman Karima with metric number 1727166. And here I would like to explain to you and share to you about the education regulation on special education based on Education Special Education Regulations 2013 or Peraturan-Peraturan Pendidikan Khas 2013. Before we start our presentation, I would like to tell you that things that I will explain is the second version of these regulations, which is made in 2013, and its first version was made in 1997. Education Special Education Regulations 2013. Application. These regulations shall apply to a government school and government-aided school which implement the special education. Interpretation. In these regulations, Code of Practice means the Code of Practice on Education for Pupils with Special Educational Needs. Special education curriculum. The curriculum that is used for the students with special educational needs is a bit different from the curriculum that is used for the regular students. The curriculum that is used for the Sens students are first, the national curriculum, which is the KBSR and KSSR. The second is the national curriculum, which is modified by the Registrar General. Registrar General is a person who is responsible for holding a population census. The third, a curriculum which is specially designed by Registrar General. And fourth, any skill training curriculum which in the opinion of the Registrar General is suitable and beneficial for students with special educational needs. So basically, the difference between the curriculum of Science students and the regular students is the curriculum of Science students is a bit flexible because the curriculum is based on the students' needs. Who are the pupils with special needs? Pupils with special needs are pupils who are certified by a medical practitioner, an optometrist, an audiologist, or a psychologist, as the case may be whether is service of the government or not, as a pupil having visual disability, hearing disability, speech disability, learning disability, or any combination of the disabilities and difficulties. Level of study. The Minister of Education of Malaysia stated that the level of study of Science students is a bit similar to the regular students, which is started from the preschool education, primary education, secondary education, and post-secondary education. Special Education Program. There are three programs for the Science students. The first program is Inclusive Education Program, which is an educational program for a pupil with special educational needs, which is attended by students with special educational needs together with other students in the same class in a government school or government-aided school. So basically, this program tells us that Science students are studying together with the other student, mean the normal students, in the same class. So the second program is the Special Education Integrated Program, which is an educational program for a pupil with special educational needs, which is only attended by students with special educational needs in a government school or government-aided school. Different from the first program, the second program is special for the Science students only. And the last program, which is Individual Education Plan, a record containing items as determined by Registrar General, which specifies the educational plan for each pupil with special educational needs. Requirement to attend probation period. For the purpose of determining the suitability of a pupil with special educational needs to attend the special education under Sub-Regulation number 5.1, The pupil shall attend the probation period of not more than 3 months at a government school or government-aided school. So before the Sens students are studying in the special education, the students shall attend the probation period for 3 months in a government school or government-aided school. So after completing the 3 months period of time, the teacher shall create a report regarding the students, whether the students are suitable to attend the special education or not. And the report must be approved by the principal, head teacher, or senior assistant for SEN, State Education Department officer, or District Education officer, and the third, Social Welfare Department officer. The suitability of attending special education. Upon the receipt of the probation period under Sub-Regulation number 4.2, the panel shall determine on the suitable of the pupil with sent to attend the special education. Okay, before mentioned before, the report shall be given to the parents of the students. Code of Practice. The Registrar General shall prepare the Code of Practice, which consists of standard procedure that provide guidance in planning, preparing, and implementing the educational program for a pupil with special educational needs. The Registrar General may amend the Code of Practice itself. And second point, appeal. Any person aggrieved by the determination of the panel in Sub-Regulation number 5.1 may appeal to the registrar in writing within 30 days from the date of the notification of the determinations. So after the parents receive the report from the teachers regarding their children, if they aggrieved by the determination by the report, they can appeal to the registrar and write within the 30 days from the date of the notification. Implementation of the special education. For the purpose of implementing the special education, any person who is involved in the implementation of the special education shall use the special education curriculum. A teacher shall use the individual education curriculum plan. A teacher may take a modification to first, the teaching and learning methods or techniques, second, the time allocated for each activity, third, the activities arrangement, for the teaching aids. Any modification under paragraph 1.c shall be in accordance with the special education curriculum. Requirement to implement co-curricular activities. A pupil with special educational needs determined by the panel as suitable to attend the special education under Sub-Regulation number 5.1 shall attend the co-curricular activities as defined in Education National Curriculum 1997 P.U.A number 531/1997 according to the suitability of the students. So not only the regular students who should take the co-curricular activities, but the SEN students also required to take the co-curricular activities. Duration of education for a pupil with special educational needs. In primary school, they are required to not studying in more than 2 years. It same goes to the secondary school. They are studying in not more than 2 years. Primary and secondary school, 1 year each level, meaning 1 year in primary and 1 year in secondary school. And for the students who attend a vocational education in a secondary special education vocational school may be extended for a further period of 1 year. The last point is revocation. The Education Special Education Regulation 1997 P.U.A number 532/1997 are revoked. As I mentioned before, things that all I explained to you is regulation made in 2013. So the first version, which is made in 1997, are revoked. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.